I want to see a little bit of physicality, a little bit of fighting here and there. Didn't hurt anybody, and I'm going to make it racial. I find it so odd that the same people, many of which were making these arguments when that gentleman from NHL came over and opened his fucking lips about a sport that he does not watch, sat here and wanted and talk about what they do in the NHL when they over there fighting each other. The reason why that can't happen in the NBA is because when we had those things occurring, it was, oh, it's so bad for the league. It's so terrible for the league. They're a bunch of idiots. So all the things that you all claim you all love and boast and talk about, when black men were doing it in the late 90s or early 2000s, y'all called them thugs. It was bad for the league. Prima donnas. Why they don't play basketball?
Repel, clean, and protect with Rain-X Pro interior products.
Now all of a sudden, when they don't do that, it's also a problem as well. There's no in between. No in between at all. Be very mindful. There are several rivalries in today's game. Several rivalries. That's another one. People sit here and say, "Man, there's just no rivalries in today's league." You don't watch the fucking sports. Because there's no way you watch Trae Young go to the Knicks, go to the Garden, and you don't think that that's not a rivalry. There's no way you don't see Jaylen Brown picking up Luka Doncic and you don't think there's some bad blood there. There's no way you don't see Luka Doncic play the Phoenix Suns with Devin Booker and you don't think there's an issue there. No way you didn't sit there and see Karl Anthony Towns and Draymond Green and you don't think there's an issue there. There's literally no way. Pacers and Bucks, no way you don't think there's an issue there. You don't know it, partially because the NBA does a shit job promoting it, but also you just don't watch the sport. Every single time they say that, I immediately think to myself, oh, you just don't watch. You just don't watch. That's all it is, and that's okay. But you just don't watch. You don't watch.
Conversation about old school basketball is a real thing. Because that's the new narrative now. Is like it's a nostalgic issue. A lot of people who grew up in a different era of basketball and get introduced to basketball, they're going to like that era regardless, no matter what happens in the future. You've played through what now? 3 years?
Yeah.
3 years?
Yeah.
Back whenever Kuzi was doing no-look pass.
For sure.
Yeah, the first ever no-look pass.
Yeah,
Kuzi.
Yeah, he's a dog.
And he was an exciting white, wasn't he? He was an exciting white. He was
Who's that game? Who's that game for sure?
Boom.
Yeah, who's that game?
Yeah, but we're watching.
Oh, no! Not LeBron actually acknowledging it.
Detected.
Kuzi was
Control point in proximity.
No.
It's highlights, and I'll speak for you.
For that era.
Exactly. Hey, you don't have to say this.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll say this.
Yeah, game for that.
I grew up in Pittsburgh, so we didn't have an NBA team. So I was more an NHL guy, but I would watch the Lake Show at night because I couldn't sleep. So
right.
I did know the NBA, but not I didn't follow it as closely. When I watched The Last Dance, I was watching a lot of highlights. And I was watching people dribble a ball like this. And I was like, I don't know how that works in modern basketball. I think you guys have played a couple different sports. I think there was a Kuzi era of sports where a no-look pass, holy shit. Then there was an era where people were starting to get nasty or smart.
You had Pistol Pete, Mary Ritchie started coming in and started, getting a little bit of that. But then
the era, he's saying the era of basketball when the unwritten rule about allowing a certain amount of black people on teams no longer existed. That's what he's talking about. Oh, did I say that?
Broadcast picked up.
Damn, I didn't mean to out them. Chat. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So sorry about that one.
The ball was hitting off guys' heads and stuff, so they looking at him like, oh, what are you doing?
You never see those highlights. They'll only see the highlights. Highlights are the only bangers survive. Then obviously Jordan comes in and transforms everything. Him dunking from the foul line, massive ordeal. He made a whole fucking brand off it. He's flying. Now kids are dunking from the 3-point line in high school. It's just like the game has evolved so much. But there is a nostalgia conflict that takes place with you guys this modern era. Do you feel that? How do you address that?
No. I definitely feel it, and I think we just have to recognize that evolution is just a part of life, man. Shit, you look at the Hummer from the 1970s to the Hummer of today. You're gonna be like, okay, you might be nostalgic about it, you loved it in the 70s, but do you really want to drive that every day right now in 2025? You're gonna get out the car and your goddamn neck and your back is gonna be hurting so bad. Seriously, you're gonna be hurting so bad. You're gonna be like, okay, you know what? This might be just a Sunday chill bar. Like I drive it up the street, get some ice cream, come back home. But I
Refill it because it gets too much.
yeah, exactly. I gotta just start it up, let it just crank the gas for about 2 hours just to make sure it's still running. But like, you know, like we have to understand that there's players and errors and things of that nature. Like we get it, but like, you know, you watch some of the, you watch some of the NFL games as well from the 70s and the 80s. And guys like, Jack Lambert and those guys like coming through like completely decapitate people. Like murder, Ronnie Lott tore his pinky off and then went to the sideline, like just tear the rest of it off and get back out there. Like I get it, like those are nostalgic moments, but like the game is different, and we should respect all eras in that era. We can't be saying, okay, just because Will was great in the 60s and 70s that he'll be great now. And we also can't say that some of the guys now will be great. It is what it is.
Oh, so he said that as well. Oh, yeah, Stephen A. Smith. The problem is that when you sit there and you react to a clip because you're so fucking lazy at your job. Matter of fact, let me look you dead in your eyes. So the problem is, Stephen A. Smith, remember when you said, I used to talk about the league. I cover the league. Remember when you said that? Remember when you wanted us to hold you to this level of journalistic integrity because you're so much different from the niggas or the random microphone and bunched up corner? Remember when you said all that fuck shit? Here you are, acting like a meaningless nigga who has a podcast, everybody else reacting to 45-second clips. Here you are doing that exact same thing. Because you're so fucking sensitive and you couldn't help yourself but to run in front of a camera and start yapping and running your fucking gums without having any of the context of the things in which he said in the pod or in the interview. And the crazy part about it is you just had to wait. Even before I made my video, I still was like, let me hear what he had to say first. Which is why in the video I uploaded, I was like, yeah, a lot of things that Stephen A. Smith is saying, it was so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful.
You got us. We got the count. Perfect for pizza. It's Domino's new slice sauce. Grab one tonight and get dipping already.
Because you gotta accept it and respect everybody in the area they playing. He said the exact same thing. But here you go. As you always do, can't wait for the opportunity to speak about LeBron James. Matter of fact, moving forward, I'm going to call you Stephen A. James. Because that nigga need to start writing you off on his taxes. That's your daddy. Because you can't wait. You can't wait to make money off that man's name and do it in an irresponsible manner. Even though you claim you want us to hold you to a different standard than the random podcasters with cheap microphones sitting in a corner. Yeah, you do the same thing. Which I find it hilarious that you then went on the timeline crying, God, you took my quote out of context. Shut up, nigga. Shut up. You do that all the time. Whole reason why you jammed up right now is because you talk out of context all the time. That's all you do. You're not a journalist anymore. Your personality in front of a TV and your daddy ESPN, they tell you what to say. That's what you are. So I don't want to hear that shit. But as I said, Chet, he literally said the exact same thing that Stephen A. Smith said. But the problem is when you react to 45-second clips, the same way they've been doing at ESPN for decades now, get those results. That's why Skip Bayless his idiotic, moronic, dumbass would also react to fake tweets, fake quotes. Because they get their whole shtick from the timeline. I want everybody also before I take it, Stephen A. Smith said, we're the real media. That's social media y'all reacting to. Y'all react to social media, and it's the real media. Yeah, here you are on the biggest platform in all of media, reacting to shit that was on social media, clips on social media. That's what you do. Wake up, nigga. Maybe you don't understand who you are. You're becoming a clown in this whole entire cycle of what we've been talking about for the past month. You are becoming the biggest clown of them all. You react to the timeline like everybody else.
Respect that era and we move on. But the whole, every single day that he's better, he's not better, he would. You trying to tell me Giannis wouldn't be able to play an NBA game in the 70s?
He wouldn't be able to do it.
Neither would you.
Giannis and Steph would have 250 points in a game in the 70s.
Well, 200. It's so crazy that line literally was right before the line in which they were. It's so crazy that y'all niggas, Stephen A. Smith, you have so little leverage what's going on out there, or maybe you just don't give a fuck. That you couldn't ask for the 10 seconds before that clip so you can get all of the context before y'all reacted to it? It's either one or the other. Either you don't have any type of motion like that, they just paid you to put on that monkey suit and drop it in the tennis, or you decided to purposely be late. It has one or the other.
150.
It's like, what was the player?
And that's no disrespect. Like, it's no disrespect. But, like, seriously, like, Kyrie Irving. Like,
They would have called him a witch. They would have called him a witch.
No. They would have told Kyrie, you're not. You know how they used to tell Lou Alcindor at the time that he couldn't dunk in high school games? They would have told Kyrie, you're not allowed to dribble anymore. That's what they would have told him. Dribbling is out rude. They would have seen that.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'9".
And how heavy are you?
I'm give or take in between 215 to 280. I don't know.
That is the craziest answer I've ever heard in my fucking life. 215 to 280, nigga. Shut the fuck up, my nigga. What? Hey, 215 to 280 is a crazy wide range of weight. But nigga, we can look at you and we know you're not 215, bro. Let's be honest.
It depends on the day. Okay. It depends on if you give me my cookies or not.
We're tipping two This is becoming a heavyweight battle.
Yeah.
So 6'9". Let's say you're two. You look very fit. Right?
Yeah.
So 250, 6'9", 220. Could easily get to 260.
No, you're not. He's probably more.
I think that would play.
Yeah, come on. I would be able to play in any era. It's funny you hear some of the older guys like Ron James couldn't play in this era.
Never been fouled by Bill Laimbeer before.
Yeah. I think I seen like Dennis Rodman say that one time. It was like LeBron James not skilled.
Say hello to the mini. It's not your average Joe's SUV. I'm an average Joe.
Yeah, not big enough.
It's so crazy when people say that because they act as if like LeBron did not enter the NBA in 2003. It's so crazy to me because if you believe that, then it also means you would have to by default believe that all the players that also played in 2003 and onwards were not skilled enough. They couldn't play enough. Like LeBron in his second and third year was already averaging 30 points in the mid 2000s, which I'm here to tell you is a much more difficult era of basketball to play in from an offensive standpoint than any other era in basketball history. The 2000s is the toughest era of basketball to play in, not because of physicality, but because of the defensive schemes that they allowed at that point in time, while there also wasn't any advancement of understanding the proper floor spacing. They're two bigs and another wing that couldn't shoot, all on the floor at the same time with the ball handler trying to figure out how the fuck he's supposed to score in his lack of floor spacing. And LeBron did that as a teenager, came in as a teenager, already an all-star caliber player as a teenager, second year All-NBA, and has not been anything less than that since. When people sit here and argue that about LeBron, if you can make it in the 2000s, then you can make it in any era. But again, we can just respect players in the era in which they played in. That's it. And you know, Bill Laimbeer, you never got hit by Bill Laimbeer. Even Bill Laimbeer himself would be like, nah, LeBron will be fine. He'll be fine. Or he played with Ben Wallace, Tim Duncan. And it'd be even funnier when, like, players back then, like when I hear Steven Jackson, oh, LeBron couldn't play back in my day. I'm like, nigga, you were there when he was there. What are you talking about? Y'all were both there. So why didn't you stop him? Like Rashard McCants, when he be yapping, LeBron ain't skilled. Okay, so why the fuck didn't you stop him then? You were there. Nigga put points on you. Why didn't you stop him? And shout out to Meta, because Meta told us back when he was Ron Artest and LeBron was even younger, he played some games with y'all when the nigga was a high schooler, and he was still putting points on y'all niggas. So why couldn't y'all stop him then? Y'all do realize he was already a 30-point scorer when many of y'all was in the league or just retired a few years prior. You do realize that, right? Y'all do realize that? Y'all do realize that when LeBron came in the league, Jordan retired literally the year before. Y'all do realize that. Y'all do realize y'all sit here and try to glaze and be completely hyperbolic of who Michael Jordan was. But then y'all do forget the very next season, LeBron entered the NBA. So you have to then say that somehow the league just got significantly worse as soon as Michael Jordan stopped existing. But of course, you're not going to say that.
He's not. Nah, doesn't weigh enough. He's not strong enough.
Can't handle it.
Nah, yeah, I'm like, okay.
Okay, let's talk about you flopping all over the place.
Yeah.
That's why people get mad.
Yeah, I know.
Now, why do you do that? Patrick Mahomes does the same thing. He's greatest of all time for us in the